Hi there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training company PassMyInterview.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to pass a values-based interview, and in particular I'm going to give you a number of values-based interview questions and really high scoring answers to help you pass. Now, before I get into the content and the tutorial, a very warm welcome to this training video. My name is Richard McMunn, that's me there in the centre, and I've been helping people to pass interviews for over 20 years now. And I'm going to give you some very high scoring answers to values-based type interview questions. So stick around if you have a values-based interview coming up, or for that matter, a behavioural or situational type interview, because this training is really going to help. As always, please make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking that red button below the video, and that way you're not going to miss out on any of the weekly tutorials that I'm uploading. And also, I would very, very much appreciate it if you gave the video a like. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get into the training. What is a values-based interview? Well, it is very similar to a behavioural or situational type interview in the fact that you are going to be assessed against certain values that are required to perform the job competently. So, for example, if you are applying for a job where you have to demonstrate professionalism, then you could be asked a specific question that relates to your ability to be professional at work and demonstrate integrity. Other ones, honesty and integrity, being able to work with innovative thinking, also demonstrating confidentiality at work, collaboration, which is effectively working as part of a team with other people, also being open to change and being able to learn and develop as you progress. So these are just a small number of the kind of values that could be assessed at any kind of interview. So if we take one of them, for example, which is collaboration, working with other people as part of a team, what kind of question, values-based question, could be posed to you during your interview? It would be, describe a time when you worked with other people to complete a difficult task. And if you can demonstrate to the panel that you've done that previously, you are showing them that you can work collaboratively with other people. So how do you answer values-based interview questions? 2 tips. Make sure you give specific answers to each question that is being asked based around the particular value. And what I mean by that is, don't tell the interview panel what you would do if the value was being assessed, but tell them what you've done before in a previous work-related role. Now, when structuring your answers, my advice is to use the STAR technique, and I'll tell you what that is in a couple of seconds' time. But if you use the STAR technique when structuring your answers to the values-based interview questions, you will score high marks because you're giving a specific evidence-based response. So, if we take that collaboration question, which was describe a time when you worked with others to complete a difficult task, you would structure your answer using the STAR technique, which is situation. So you tell the interview panel the situation you were in. You then move on and tell them the task that you needed to do. You then explain to the interview panel the action that you took to complete that particular task. And then finally, you tell the interview panel the results of your actions. So when you're answering values-based interview questions, always remember situation star action result, which is STAR. If you remember that, you won't go far wrong. So let's now use that STAR technique to give you some values-based interview questions and those all-important high-scoring answers. So let's take one values-based interview question, which is explain a time when you demonstrated integrity and professionalism at work, which is a common values-based interview question. Here's my answer using the STAR technique. In my previous job, I was working as part of a successful team who had a track record of achieving strong results for our employer. Now, during a team meeting with an external client, a representative of the client asked me to cut corners whilst carrying out my particular element of the project with a view to saving money and reducing costs. It was my job to explain to the client's representative that by cutting corners, we would effectively be making the project not fit for purpose and also making it potentially unsafe. I started off by explaining in a professional manner that I could understand why it was important to keep costs to an absolute minimum, but that in my professional opinion, by doing so we would be putting the project at risk of being unsafe and ultimately not fit for purpose. After I put forward my argument in a logical, concise and professional manner that was backed up with evidence, the client's representative agreed with me that it was not feasible or safe to cut corners to reduce costs. So you have used their situation, task, action and result to give a solid evidence-based response to the question. Explain a time when you demonstrated integrity and professionalism at work. That will gain very high marks, I promise you. Now, if you want a copy of these, please stick around because I'll tell you where you can download these and other values-based interview questions soon. Next values-based interview question is describe a time when you helped a team achieve a difficult task. So this is collaboration, working with other people. And here's my suggested answer to this question. I was working as part of a 4-person team on a difficult project that needed to be completed within 21 days. My manager was required to give the company shareholders a presentation on a set date once the project was complete, and it was our job to get the project completed on time. I was required to work as part of the team to not only carry out my role diligently and professionally, but to also support the other team members whilst carrying out their own tasks. I am a very fast worker, which meant I finished my part of the task with 4 days to spare. As soon as I finished my part, I asked the other team members if any of them required assistance, and one of them said that he needed help collecting data for his part of the task. I took a verbal brief from him and I then went away and collected the data as soon as possible. The end result was the team task and project were fully completed to the correct standard and specification with just 24 hours to spare. We then presented the project to our manager, who then successfully delivered his presentation to the shareholders the very next day. So that's a difficult task where you're all working together. There's not long to complete it, but you are demonstrating you're a great team worker, but also you say, I'm a very fast worker. And then you go out of your way to help the team. That demonstrates the value of collaboration really well. Next question, describe a time you adapted your style in order to work effectively with those who were different from you. So you're in a work situation and you're working with people and all the others are totally different from you and you have to adapt your style. This question is used to assess your ability to fit in to a team and change your style of working. Here's my high-scoring answer to this values-based interview question. I can remember joining a new team whereby everyone's approach to work was entirely different to my own. The team was extremely analytical and they were careful in their approach to undertaking and completing tasks. My style of working was entirely focused on getting the job done as soon as possible to the best of our ability. The team I joined had been working well for many years, and so I saw it as my job to adapt my style of working to suit this new and different approach to getting tasks completed. I started off by explaining to the team how I would need a bit of time to adapt, and I pre-warned them that I was not used to their style of working. I explained to them that I completely saw the benefits of their approach to tasks and projects, and that I was looking forward to learning from them this new style of working. I asked them to support me in the process of change and to also teach me everything they knew, which they all agreed to. Whilst I found the adaptation difficult at first, I persevered and eventually my style of working changed to suit this new approach. I learned a tremendous amount from this experience and I now feel I'm a more rounded worker who can still carry out tasks quickly but with a greater degree of accuracy and professionalism. So that shows that you can fit into a team and you can adapt your style to those who are different from you. Now I'm going to come on to another question, but if you want to download the full set of 15 values-based questions, there's a link that's appeared right there. If you click that, it takes you through to this page, which is my website, passmyinterview.com, and there's 15 values-based interview questions and answers right there, including these ones. Let's move on to the next question. Describe a time when you achieved a difficult goal against the odds. So this demonstrates that you're resilient, you're confident, and you're a hard worker, and you can get things done despite being under pressure. Here's my answer. I was working as part of a team on a difficult client-based project. The client we were working on the project for contacted us to request a number of important changes with only 2 weeks left until the completion date. This put us in a very difficult situation because even though we wanted to make the changes for the client, there was no guarantee we could complete the project on time. But I am someone who has a determined nature, and so we got together as a team and decided to go all out to try and complete the project on time and achieve our goals with the changes included. Both myself and the other team members decided to work at the weekends to make our goal of completing the project more achievable. For 2 weekends running, I, along with my work colleagues, worked an extra 7 hours each day, which made a massive difference to the productivity levels of the project. Due to the extra effort we put in together to complete the project on time, we managed to implement the necessary changes and deliver the completed project, much to the satisfaction of the client. I am someone who will work very hard to achieve any goal that I am set. I have a determined nature and I will always work tirelessly for my employer when needed. So that demonstrates that you can achieve a difficult goal against the odds by working hard and putting in that extra effort. So don't forget, click that link right now below the video or go through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can download all 15 values-based interview questions and the answers that I promise you, if you use them, they will really help you to pass your interview. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I look forward to teaching you more ways to pass your interview. Have a great day.